Pleased to have you here. We're going to go on with the War Package 2, so I invite Nikolai Stoianov to join me from the Bulgarian Defence Institute. He will be presenting us all the work that is going on with War Package number 2 that deals with identifying needs and opportunities for joint security procurement approaches, challenges, and current findings. Nikolai.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be here and to present in front of you what we are doing in the War Package 2 in iProcureNet project. I would like to thank the organizers, but also to host for this beautiful venue and also for very well and I say perfectly organized conference, because after 2 years having online discussion and everything, I think that the face-to-face meetings are very important for any point of view. So thank you very much. My name is Nikolai Stoianov, and I'm colonel from Bulgarian Army and deputy director of Bulgarian Defence Institute. But my role here in this conference and also in the iProcureNet project is to lead or to coordinate War Package 2, which is dedicated to identify needs and opportunities for joint procurement, for joint security procurement. And today I will show you or present you what we did and what are our plans to do after that. So this is why I put as a title additionally approaches, challenges, and current findings. Let's say that my presentation will follow this outline: short introduction, objectives, needs for identification process, used information, different sources, how we use and what is the beneficiary from these sources. Of course, I will present some results and our future plans. Objectives. So idea of the War Package 2 is to collect and analyze investment threat, and it includes that needs to include different documents and different data sources from different member states, but also to identify what kind of the innovation there is inside, because I think that we are talking about innovation here, but still we need to repeat probably one sentence, that innovation is not invention. So I think that we as a researcher or we as end users from time to time mix these two opportunities. So invention, everybody knows something new that never happened. Someone invents something, either wheel or something like this. But innovation is something that exists, but used in different way, that it was not supposed to be used. So this is something that we always need to take into account when you're talking about innovation, never mind in which sector, especially in security sector, is very important. And this is why our job in War Package 2 is quite hard, because you will see the results, but we identify a lot of things, a lot of interesting things, and always the question is if this is innovation or if this innovative product, service, or there is innovation inside this cost product. So this is always the question, and of course we are dealing with this question and address them. Additionally, we need to collect and assess, of course, different needs. The procurement process consists, you know better than me, consists of several steps and several phases. And I think that not because I'm leading this War Package, but one of the important is to identify what exactly end users needs. For me, end users means police services or men on the field or first responders. This is, let's say, the common idea for the end users. So what they need. From time to time, they wish something, but wishes are different from reality. From time to time, we can't achieve the wishes as a process. So definitely identifying needs is something important. I've been in several situations, because we are dealing in the same topic in my institution. I've been in several situations that end users say, I wish this, or I want this. For example, I will not mention any specific device or service, but it doesn't exist. So our role is to, first of all, to be close to reality and to say what is possible and what is not possible from their needs. But secondly, that I think is more changeable for us, is also to change their mindset, I mean end users, because usually end users say, okay, I need this because I know this. I need this device, I need this service, I know, because I know this. This morning we had a very, thank you for the presentation, we have very informative and interesting presentation, and you several times mentioned AI. But what is AI? Do our end users or our clients understand what is AI, and do they need this? Probably no. They say, I need CCTV camera to recognize these guys or these people or whatever. but behind there is a lot. And this is our role, the second role, to show to this our clients that there is a new things that can solve them a lot of issues with current devices or current services. So this is why I'm trying to explain this, because our job is doable. First of all, to understand, but secondly, to explain to them. So I think that this is the main driver also for Work Package 2. And of course, based on these ideas and based on this data that we collect, we, according to the GA, we need to produce initial potential candidate list for the joint procurement, which means that we need to identify, we need to talk with end users, we need to identify needs and to see if they're willing to go together. Because we face the situation that several end users would like to buy the same things or same device, but they are quite nervous to go together because of different reasons, legal, national, political, or whatever. So definitely the goal of the project, or don't forget that main goal of the project or main objective of the project is to ultimate goal is to make procurement a catalyst of security innovation. So it's very hard from procurement point of view or for financial point of view to pay for something without clear result. Thanks to European Commission, now we have opportunity. European Commission invest of such kind of the project, not only as iProcure, but the research innovation project. That result is presented as an idea, but finally is not quite, we are not quite sure that this result will be achieved. And this is very risky. And of course, for the government, for the institution and other institutions, it's not easy to explain this. So this is why we need to change also our ideas when we're talking about innovation and to invest, let's say, in this direction. But as I explained, we need to identify needs. This is the key element for us, because if we need to recognize people, this is the need, or these are the needs for the end users. I don't want to be in situation, I've been several times in this situation, that our end user said, I need camera or CCTV camera or whatever that looks for 3 kilometers, can recognize people. This is not their job. They are tactical or operational guys. They need to say, okay, I would like to recognize common or single person 5 kilometers from here. That's all. And the technical guys needs to create technical specification or something additional documents to identify possibilities and options from the technical point of view, and to propose them a device, service, and everything. So this is the mixture, what they need and what they want. Additionally, starting with this process, we need to determine what kind of the data we can use. So of course, there is plenty of data now based on the internet and everything is connected. Now we are in the position that we have a lot of data. We have stream of data and we are overloaded or overflowed. So definitely something that is very important for us is to manage this data and to identify what is valuable and what is not valuable. Also, different sources. There is plenty of sources for data, but which of them are reliable? This is something important because, as we discussed in my institute, everything works on PDF. I mean, on the paper, everything works. But when you go to reality, to the field test or to the real exploitation, it's a different story. So definitely a reliable source, reliable companies, reliable organization is some of the key also that we need to identify. Of course, this is something that we can do offline, but interaction is important. Interaction is key. So this is why also we scheduled interviews, create different surveys, and of course, organize different focus group. This is how we identify needs. But also, additionally, having interviews or having different kind of events is not easy. You need to have a good facilitator. Otherwise, you can lose the time of a lot of the people. So definitely we did a different process. So we identify focus group, but also we have a very good facilitator to run the interviews, to run the events. Of course, testing is important, and we did so-called pre-tests. And finally, we collect and analyze all this data based on this process. And as a result, we have initial candidate lists, which is the goal of the project, let's say. But when we started with Work Package 2, it was like ocean. If I was in Bulgaria, I would say sea, but now it's ocean here. Because everybody understands in different way classification or data sources or data classification. So finally, based on the different workshops of different discussions that we have, we identify something that is acceptable for all of us under the umbrella of the project. And one of them is very common procurement vocabulary. Of course, it's used widely in European Union. Most of the country used. It's clear identification of what kind of the service or goods would like to purchase. And of course, there is a limitation, but also this is one of the common recognized data source, data classification. The issue is that when we're looking for the innovative products, this kind of products doesn't exist in CPV. No, because it's too young, too new. So CPV is the vocabulary that it's driven by community, but definitely it's, from my point of view, is a little bit after something happens. So definitely CPV is good source or data classification option, but especially for innovation is not 100% valuable. Another source or data classification is something that was done in the previous project, because we never forget that, first of all, iProcureNet is a network. So definitely we need to address the topics to extend our network, but also to see what was done before and to take good examples and to use results from the previous project in this project. So not, as we said, not to pay double for something. So definitely we identify another data source or taxonomy, which is called Taxonomy of Security Product System and Services. And the good thing is that this classification dealing with the several areas, which is border security and management, critical infrastructure, emergency preparedness centers or crisis management, and security of the citizen. It looks like this. It's a 3-level classification or taxonomy. So I give example from the cybersecurity. So we have the cybersecurity is part of critical infrastructure for this classification. And after that, we have different sub-elements as detect, authorize, prevent, and different elements. So this data classification was analyzed in our work package. And of course, we ended with some advantage and disadvantage, because I'm far from any ideas that someone will produce perfect thing. Even we, as a project, probably we will be the best, but not perfect. So definitely, this is something that always we need to look and to see with criticism. And of course, my advantage is that this scheme is very good, take into account new technology, new trends, innovation, but it's hierarchy. It's a common hierarchy, which means that if we have same product or same service in 2 different categories or 2 different areas, there is no way to address, because if you address, it needs to double or triple, or we need to make connection, which means not hierarchy, and change the whole idea, which means the network as a type of the data organization. So definitely this taxonomy is useful for us because we used identify a lot of interesting things, but definitely it can be applied directly in iProcureNet project. And based on this study that I mentioned, we started to identify sources from where to take information. Because if I ask every one of you what you need, you can say, I need this or I need this, but definitely we need to have common approach for every member state and common sources. So one of the sources is so-called investment plan. You know that every member state needs to issue investment plan every year, beginning of the year. This is normal, but it doesn't happen. Unfortunately, beginning happens in the middle of the year from time to time. So to harmonize this between the all member states, we have several issues. So one of the issues is that they are issued in the local language. Unfortunately, I'm not good in languages, so I don't understand nothing except Bulgarian and partially English. So it's not possible for me to, or also for my team, to understand what kind of the data, what kind of the investment plan, or what kind of the data other partners have. So first, this was one of the issues, and we use, or let's say in the best way, we asked contact points, national contact points, to support us, to take investment plans and to translate. But this is not an easy job. Why? Because investment plans in different member states are organized in different way. So definitely we try to harmonize this and propose such kind of the template. Easy to develop, hard to feel. Second, another issue that we have is that we are looking for investment and innovation products. We are not looking for everything. So contact point, national contact points, they have a freedom to extract from investment plan based on their opinion what is innovation and to be included in this. So based on this, I'm sure, and I can show you that we receive a lot of interesting things. Some of them we consider as innovation, some of them we consider as a COTS. This is not a problem. And finally, I can say that based on this, we receive a very good initial ideas, but it's not only. Another option is because focus is again innovation. We are not talking about the normal procurement. We're talking about the innovation, which is the critical for our project. I mean, from a good point of view. So we identify that there is, of course, there is another network of practitioners. This is the common name for such kind of the project. And they also dealing with specific topics. For example, identify needs, different needs or similar needs, but from different member states. One of these projects was Medea, for example, or IleaNet, or so I put Medea 2 times. I don't know why. So we contact them and we start talking with them because they already were advanced 2 or 3 years before I started, and they already have enough from their point of view information. So we thinking, okay, we need to take your needs or your identified needs and gaps to see what we identified need and to merge or to assess. This is why we contacted with a network of practitioners as another source to identify additional needs and, of course, possible gaps. But also, we made a contact with another innovation product, a research and development project, but in European context, it's called Research and Innovation Action or Innovation Action. You see a lot of them. You see some samples. This is during the COVID period, so you can imagine how we identify innovation needs during the COVID period, not only by paper, but also with live meetings, but not face-to-face, unfortunately. And based on this, we identify, on organized workshop with this project, we identify what they're producing at the end of the project. And there is a lot of interesting products or services, purely innovative, that are of interest for our project as well. So the approach or the idea was, okay, for example, in fold-out project or a receivable project or CREST project that PGA also participate, they produce something. I mean, something that, for example, is based on AI or radar, whatever is the name. The issue is that this product is not mature enough, so the TRL 7, 6, 8, so not ready to be produced. But even that, the idea, if, for example, I will give you this example because we are here, if PGA already participate in CREST, it means that they are interested in this product at the end. So definitely, this is a good signal that innovation that will be produced in this project is already addressed, at least from one partner in our project as well. And this is how we make a connection. And of course, identified additional interesting innovation product and services. Not only this, we continue. And we also use different options participating in different international fairs, because contact with producers or suppliers is critical. Whatever we say, finally, end products or services are produced from companies. So we need to have a clear view what they will produce for future, not for today, as Luisa said. We are not looking for today, we are looking for tomorrow as well. And having options to visit such kind of the fairs and discuss with the companies is a good opportunity for us. Issue is that, you know, company never share everything. Company have a trademark, so company cover something because this is their investment plan, their know-how, and of course they are not open to share everything. But even that, we were happy to have these meetings and to identify that in their plans, there is an innovative product that will be available on the market next year or the year after, and definitely fits in our needs. And of course, last point is International Scientific and Applied Research Conference, where we see the presentation or participate in such kind of conference for the trends that will be here in this room or in this environment after 5 or 10 years from now. So we have several horizons looking for. And this is not all. We also identify that based on different documents, there is a different understanding what means security sector of interest or security sectors. So you see, there is a lot: aviation safety, maritime safety, border control, civilian protection, physical protection, or whatever we say. Definitely, we can't cover everything. Our ambition in the project is not to cover everything. Our ambition is to focus on something that is really specific based on the feedback from our users in the project. For me, if you ask me, I can say, okay, for me, CBRN probably is important, or defense and military. Yes, but not for me, but not for all of us. And based on this, we run a survey, and this is the result from the survey. We aggregated in 4 categories answers, and you see this one, the red one, I didn't use the proper color, but this is not important. The red one is very important for all of us in the consortium: border security, cyber security, crisis management, police. Also, we consider that elements between, let's say, 50 and 75% are also part of our interest. So we continue to work on Coast Guard, critical infrastructure protection, counter-terror aspect of security, communication, information security, civil protection, and so on and so on. So this is our focus, and this is under our radar. The rest, if they pop up as urgent or emergent, of course, we'll take into account. But for now, this is out of scope of the project, which is important for us. And based on these surveys, based on all these investment plans, based on all data that we received, this is the first list that we identify of joint interest. And the question for all of this is it innovation or pure cost product? You see gloves for personnel or surveillance cameras, because in investment plan is written surveillance cameras. So what is this? Pure camera or smart camera or new hyper camera with 3 lenses? Nobody knows. So this is the list. And based on this, we identify that only information coming from these sources is not good enough to say, yes, this, for example, this example, surveillance cameras, will be jointly procured by all these: Bulgaria, Estonia, France, Lithuania, and Portugal. So for another cycle, we run additional questionnaire for already identified topic to see if this topic is really common for them. For example, yesterday, our colleague from Work Package 3, Raul, presented 3 main topics that remain after the second cycle, because one of them important for all of us was drones. All of us, all of you, looking for drones. What kind of drones? Small, mini, big? I don't know. It's not written. For what you will use the drones? For urban environment, for the border security, for maritime environment? I don't know. And this is based on our approach. We go deeper and deeper and deeper and identify that most of the countries looking for drones that will be used for border security, which is good signal that probably they will go jointly to procure. And as a result, you see a lot of interesting things. I will not go in details, because forensic software for me is absolutely innovative products, but definitely it should be elaborated more what means inside. But this is not the end. This is, let's say, we are in the middle of the process. So definitely we are looking for future, and after that, how to continue. And first of all, we need validation of the results. The results were validated 2 times, but definitely more and more is valuable for us. Also, we planning to have a dedicated end users workshop to discuss details, to discuss technical specificity, and to identify potential candidates. Also, addressing innovation products and services, which is important. As I mentioned, we plan to continue our cooperation with network of practitioners. Why? Because first of all, they also evolve. Secondly, there is a new network of practitioners. I will give you one example. There is a new project, a new network of practitioners, I would like to say. It's called Notions. And they are dealing with different topic. Let's say topic is about intelligence cycle. But one of the work package is dedicated for technology and trends that will be used in this project or in this environment. And I assume that if they are dealing with this topic and they will identify technology that will be used for intelligence, why not we to take results ready and to put here in the project and to assess if these results are from our interest. Also, methodology, as I mentioned, I'm far from the idea that our methodology is perfect. So we are looking with criticism, and definitely if there is a weak part, of course, we are looking to improve. our goal is to develop initial cycle for initial result or list for the cycle 3. Present our approach in events like this or different events, because the feedback from you is critical for us and important. You can say, oh, it's totally wrong, or no, you're on the right direction, or there is some things that you need to take into account. So this is why we are looking also. And of course, to publish a paper, research paper in different conference or journals, but it's something that we would like to address as well. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikolai. I'd like you to have us just take some of the questions that have been asked through Slido. Thank you again for your questions. First question would be, will iProcureNet make use of the taxonomy recently published by Deloitte and the Commission, DG Home, as part of their study of the European Union security market? Will be using this taxonomy approach?
Okay, my answer is, we will take into account this taxonomy, but we will need to assess if this taxonomy is also useful for the project. So I can't say yes or no clearly, because I'm not familiar with the taxonomy now, but definitely as I present, we take into account different taxonomies, and definitely this is one more. And of course, we will make assessment, advantage, disadvantage, compare with existing taxonomy and see what we can do.
Thank you. Second question, how could we improve the identification of the needs process in an innovative way? Next question.
Okay, it's a hard question. So I think that we can improve the process in both ways. First of all, we, as an iProcureNet project, to be more, I would like to say, aggressive. Go and talk with end users, ask them, provoke them. But this is one option, because we need to increase awareness about the project, but also we need to explain what we are doing and why we are doing this. Definitely, end users need to understand that we are doing this for their job, to support them and to help them. This is one approach. But the second approach is end users need to be more active as well, because they need to understand that we are looking not for today, we are looking for tomorrow. And if we ask them, oh, what do you need? And if they say, okay, I need glasses. What kind of glasses you need? To see, to protect from the sun, or you need glasses VR with virtual reality, or with augmented reality to see the to see the objects, to see what is behind the wall. This is something that is our role, but we need to provoke them to ask such kind of the questions.
Thank you. And the last question, are you using data published in procurement notices to understand what others are doing for the same needs?
Not for now. This is a source that we would like to use, but not for this cycle till now.
Thank you very much. So thank you, Nikolai. I would like to welcome, I'm sorry, it was a really nice presentation. You deserved it.